Hello everyone, this is Naina Joshi and today we are going to study three-dimensional geometry, that is 3D geometry. In earlier class, we learnt analytical geometry in 2D and also introduction to 3D, but with the help of Cartesian methods only. Here in this chapter, we will use vector algebra approach to the world of 3D geometry. First of all, let's discuss direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. Let's discuss direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. We are talking about three-dimensional geometry. That is, here we have three dimensions, namely x-axis, y-axis, and the third dimension, which is perpendicular to both x and y-axis, called as z-axis. These three dimensions are mutually perpendicular to each other. These three dimensions are mutually perpendicular to each other. The angle between x and y axis is 90 degree. The angle between y and z axis is 90 degree. The angle between x and z axis is also 90 degree. That is why we call it as three dimension. Now suppose in this three-dimensional plane, in the three-dimensional space, suppose we have a line L. Suppose this is the line L. This line makes an angle alpha with x-axis. This line makes angle beta with y-axis, angle beta with y-axis, and this line makes angle gamma with z-axis. These angles alpha, beta, gamma, which this line makes with x, y, and z axis respectively, are called direction angles. So here, angle alpha, angle beta, and angle gamma are called direction angles. And when we take cosine of these angles, we get direction cosines. So the direction cosines, in short form, we can write them as DCs. The direction cosines will be cos of alpha, cos of beta, and cos of gamma. These are the direction cosines. So what are direction angles? Direction angles are the angles which a line makes with x, y, and z axis respectively. And what are direction cosines? Direction cosines are basically the cosines of the respective direction angles. So cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma are the direction cosines. So suppose you're given alpha, beta, gamma as direction angles and you have been asked direction cosines, and what you need to do, you just need to take cosine of these direction angles. Is that clear? Alright. Now we know that a line can be extended indefinitely in both the direction. This line can be extended in this direction as well as in the backward direction also. So due to that reason, in that scenario, if we take the direction of this line, suppose earlier the direction of this line was in this direction, and suppose if we reverse the direction of this line, if we reverse the direction of line L, then in that scenario, the angle made by this particular line with the axis will be complement of the earlier direction angles. So in this case, the direction angles will be pi minus alpha, the angles will be supplement of the earlier angles. The new angles will be supplement of the earlier angles. So the angles would be pi minus alpha pi minus beta and pi minus gamma. When we will take the cosines of these angles, we will get the DCs of the reversed direction line. So the direction cosines would be cos of pi minus alpha, cos of pi minus beta, and cos of pi minus gamma. And in that scenario, the answers would be minus cos alpha, minus cos beta, and minus cos gamma. Earlier, the direction cosines were cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. And if we reverse the direction of line L, the direction cosines become negative of the earlier direction cosines. So that implies whenever we have a line in the 3D space, the line can have two sets of direction cosines. Two sets of direction cosines. So if we want unique set of direction cosines, what we need to do is to have unique direction cosines, we just need to assign direction to the line. So what we need? We need a directed line. A directed line is one which has given a specific direction. So if I give, suppose there was a line and there was another line. If I assign this direction to this particular line or this direction to this particular line, then it becomes a directed line. So if we have a directed line, then we have unique direction cosines, and unique direction cosines are denoted by small l, small m, and small n. So unique direction cosines will be denoted by L, M, N in the following chapter. Now, if you need to find direction cosines of a line not passing through origin. In the earlier case, the line was passing through origin, but now we have a line which does not pass through origin. In that scenario, if you need to find the direction cosines, then what is the procedure? What you need to do is draw a line to find DCs of a line not passing through origin. If the line does not pass through origin, then how will you find the direction cosines of that line? For that purpose, draw another line passing through origin, and parallel to the given line. Now find DCs of this line. Now since we know that if two lines are parallel to each other, then their direction cosines are same. So what we have done, we have drawn a line which is parallel to the given line and that passes through origin. If we find the DCs of this particular line, then automatically those DCs will be same for the given line. So this is how you can find out DCs of a line not passing through the origin. Now, while attempting questions, the questions could be like this. Suppose you are given that this is also a short form to write direction cosines, DCs. You can use this format or you can just use this format. Given DCs of a line are L, M, N. This is given to you. The direction cosines of a line L, M, N are given to you. These are the direction cosines. And you need to find the direction ratios. So how can you find the direction ratios? Direction ratios are basically any three numbers that are proportional to DCs. So if you are given DCs as L, M, N, then any three numbers which are proportional to L, M, N will become the direction ratios for that particular line. So if we take, let A, B, C be the DRs. Let A, B, C be the DRs. This is the short form for writing direction ratios. So the direction cosines are L, M, N, and the direction ratios are A, B, C. Then A can be written as lambda times L, B can be written as lambda times M, and C can be written as lambda times N, where lambda is a real number. It belongs to the set of real numbers, and lambda should not be equals to 0. So this is how you can find the direction ratios if the direction cosines are given to you. Similarly, another type of question that may be asked is like this. If you are given that DRs, that is direction ratios of a line, are A, B, C. If the direction ratios of a line are given to you as A, B, C, and you need to find the direction cosines, In earlier case, we had direction cosines and we need to find direction ratios. Direction ratios are also called as direction numbers. Direction ratios are also called as direction numbers. So any three numbers that are proportional to the direction cosines are called as direction ratios. And in this scenario, we are given direction ratios which are A, B, C. And what we need to find out? We need to find out direction cosines. Let's see how can we do this. So let L, M, N are the DCs. We are assuming that the DCs are L, M, N. Since we know that DCs and DRs are proportional, therefore we can write L upon A will be equals to M upon B will be equals to N upon C, and this ratio is constant, let's say K, where K is a constant. So from here, the direction cosines which we need to find out, L can be written as A times K, M can be written as B times K, N can be written as C times K. Now we have a relation between the direction cosines. The relation between direction cosine is L square plus M square plus N square is equals to 1. Using this relation, let's put the values of L, M, N into the relation. So we will get A square K square, which is square of L, plus here we will do squaring on both the sides, and we will get M square equals to B square K square. Similarly, N square will be equals to C square K square, and the value is equals to 1. This implies that if we take K square common from LHS side, we will get A square plus B square plus C square over here, which is equals to 1. So from here, you will have K square equals to 1 upon A square plus B square plus C square, and K will be equals to plus minus 1 upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. So we need to find the value of L, M, and N. So from here, from this step, we we have L equals to AK. So L will be equals to plus minus A upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. Similarly, from here we have that M is equals to B into K and K is equals to this. So M will be equals to plus minus B upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. And from here N will be equals to plus minus C upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. So this is how you can find out the direction cosines when you were given the direction ratios. What we were given? We were given the values of A, B, C. These were the direction ratios. And with the help of them, we have found out the direction cosines.